Last time we were all together, I led the podcast, and I'm so
Well, this
used
is
to that.
my turf.
I'm very rarely a guest. It's always about my on my terms. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna shut up and wait to be asked or spoken to.
I'm excited to have you guys on because I want to talk about REI Tech Unlocked that we're doing together. It's getting close. By the time this episode drops, it'll just be like a few weeks away. It's September 19th through 21st. We're doing some disruptive stuff together, and I think we need to talk about it more and more and hype it up because I want everyone to come to this first time ever real estate investing tech event. Never been done before. Here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. I've pretty much stopped going to anybody else's events because they're all kind of like the same.
Yeah.
It's always like, let me share with you my story, right? Like my rise from the bottom to how I got here. Let me talk to you about mindset. While they've got their Lambos in the valet while you're walking into the hotel, and that and there's a place for that. There's a place for that. It's just not my place. So like, what's really cool about here is we're actually I can speak of all the different times I've gone to events, and in the back of the room, I'm thinking like, when are we gonna get to strategy? When are we gonna get to tactics? When are we gonna get like something I can
Yeah.
actually use? What can I take to my business right now? And I know that we're making these event together, the three of us, but like selfishly, I'm making an event that I would want to attend, which is like, give me what I can use right now. That's what I'm most excited about this event.
Absolutely. As I've been talking to people, and talking to people who are coming or thinking about coming, I said to them, you know, I've always wanted to go to an event like this. I've always wanted to, and Stephanie and I 4 years ago
Tell them
in
the origin
Jamaica,
story.
yeah,
Tell them.
uh, in Jamaica, on a boat, I think.
There may have been a couple drinks involved.
May have been a couple of something.
That's when all the best drinks, was when all the best ideas come is after a few drinks. You gotta lubricate the mind a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was something we've dreamed about and I think I personally had dreamed about it as well, because you rarely get to go one on one with technology companies. You don't get that opportunity very much. Usually, you go to an event and if there's a sponsor or a technology company there, everything's just about a superficial interaction, right? Like, oh, let me scan the QR code or give me my little swag or whatever. But you never get a chance to really sit down and be like, man, I think this technology could help me. I don't know how to use it. Can you help me do this? That's just not something you get to do. And to be able to enter a room as a real estate investor and see so many companies that are dedicated to your business and that can help you scale your business, and you get to sit down with all of them and spend time one on one with them, I just think that's so cool.
Well, and I think if you look at like the people that are coming, right? We got the big names, right? But on top of the big names, which I'll let Stephanie talk about the big names later on because like those are her friends. But like a lot of the people that are going to be there are service providers that we know personally, that we know that our mutual clients actually use, right? It's like Jordan's with smartphone, Stephanie was with Left Main, I'm with Objection Proof AI. We know what works for our clients. And these are the actual service providers. This is not a pay to play kind of deal. Like these are people that our clients actually use. And the difference here, I think about some of the other events I attended, and you got like all these like vendors and they're behind these small tables. And all you do when you walk by them at a faster pace is you just avoid eye contact. Right, like that's generally how it works as a service provider. It's the reason why I would never sponsor events. Is like I don't want to be that guy who's just sitting behind a small table where everyone's avoiding eye contact, and maybe they have like a fishbowl with like business cards. These are our friends who are actually helping their clients, bringing their customer success team with a computer to actually show you how this works, how this looks inside your business. If you wanted to use it, here's what it would look like. Not a, hey, like, let me get your business card and I'm going to call you next week to schedule a demo. There's none of that nonsense.
Well, I think I kind of want to go back to the origin story for a second because I think you guys are being a little polite, actually, about like why we're doing it. And I'll tell maybe this is a trend in my personality. I think you may have pointed it out once or twice, Steve, but what tends to motivate me a lot is anger. Like I just get pissed at stuff, and I'm like, this is so dumb. Why is it this way? I'm like, well, someone should do something about it, and then nobody does, and then it's like, all right, it's fine. I'll do it. And what again, a few drinks in on the boat in Jamaica, talking to Jordan, we were talking about just how dumb it is that there's, first of all, only affiliate marketing in the real estate investment space, but also how we're serving this really large segment of professional folks that has no unity around it at all. So all these different companies that service providers, technology providers, etc., are all trying to serve the same community, but it's in this like fragmented guru led affiliate led way, and there's not one place to like actually know what's true. Like and maybe I'm just speaking from my own experience, and so take this for what it's worth, but I don't want to just like get a referral link on something I should try and go look at. I actually want to go like talk to that service. Like, what is it? What is it that you're selling? How does it work? How do I build it? Where does it integrate into my business? Like, I don't just want to go and get referred to someone's website, and that's how I'm supposed to qualify whether or not this person can help me or not. So what I was really excited about with doing an event together is like, let's just get all these people in one freaking room and do the tactical thing together. Instead and again, there's a place and a time, I think, for motivation and inspiration. And I don't want to retract from that because I think we're all doing something really hard and we need those good voices in our head. But I don't want another event like that. I want to just go like actually put my hands on the keyboard and talk to these people and do it in almost like a complementary product way, which is why I'm so pumped to have partnered with you guys because all of our products are complementary, right? Like somebody who's trying to level up their business, get these 3 products, and you're going to be like 2 yard line from your goal. Go to the event. Maybe you need help with marketing. Okay, well these are the 3 products there, or 2 or 3 products that you need to do together to make it work. And then by the way, here are all the people who are talking to real estate investors all freaking day, and this is what they're hearing, and then this is what they hear works, and these are the trends, and this is the direction that the whole industry is moving in, and like let's talk about it on a larger scale and serve this industry way better. It's so underserved. It still blows my mind. You know, there's somewhere around 100,000 real estate investors that are actual operators doing lots of volume in the United States, which is a number that everyone is shocked by. Like, well, there's so many, like 100,000. Yes, there's over 100,000 actually of these types of investors, and nobody serves them well. There's all these stupid events for other things, like there's a cool. That's actually kind of cool. There's a community for subscription boxes being sent to houses. And there's random stuff like that, but there's no event for real estate tech. What? But yeah,
Well, that's the other thing you talked about too, right? Like the way we typically, not we, but the way most investors hear about these tools is a coach who's got an affiliate link. So you don't really know, like, is this actually a good tool? Does this actually work? Or like I just have to go click on that link and then like hopefully it's a good product. And here it's like it's actually something that you can go look at and evaluate for yourself without the pressure, right, of a sales team. And I say this as a person that loves sales, right? Like there's no pressure here of a sales team. Another thing too, you talked about like, you get this idea came up over drinks, right? And I look back to earlier on in my career, the best relationships I had were attending events with operators, people doing real deals,
right.
talking about what challenges they had, and then creating relationships there, right? Like we're talking about the tech, we're talking about what we're doing, but the reality is we already know who's coming, and the people that are already registered, these are the people that are actually doing deals. These are actually the quiet operators, the ones that are not loud, right? These are not the ones on social media preaching and selling our product. These are the people that are actually doing deals, like a good number of deals. So like the people that come to this event, you're going to meet people that are actually doing the deals, not someone with an agenda who gets paid to talk about a particular product.
We've got somebody coming to a company coming to the event that does 3,000 transactions a month. We've actually got more than one person doing $3,000 a month coming to the event. I'll let you guys guess who it is. You have to show up to figure out who it is. But we've got some super big operators coming that don't make the Lambo post and nah, and shout from the rooftops. These are the people who have boots on the ground, working really hard. Like those are the people you should be friends with, right? If that's what you want to do.
I think it's also very timely because, like the three of us live and breathe technology every day. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. And so, you know, none of us are surprised by what's going on. We learn things probably every day still, but we live the technology game. But most operators don't. And so now they're stuck in the what the hell do I do? And what is best and what is going to work. And with AI, if technology, I think we can all agree that technology is the one thing that will help you really scale your business. Technology is the amplifier, and AI is the mega amplifier of that. But there's a lot of noise going on right now. There's a lot of, every 5 seconds, a new AI tool is spinning up, and everyone's saying this is the magic bullet. We're in that AI bubble that is going to burst. Not that AI is going to go away, but the bubble of nonsense is going to eventually burst and it's going to normalize. But right now, if I was someone who wasn't in this game and I was a real estate investor trying to figure out, man, where's the leverage going to come from me to really accelerate my business over the next 18 months? I wouldn't necessarily know which path to go down, which tool to invest my time and money in. And for these guys, like, why would you want to know that? Essentially, yourself, you're busy building the best real estate investing business you can. So this is the event where you can actually sit down, and pull the curtain back and think, okay, that makes sense. Here's a tool for me. Oh, okay, now I've had a chance to look at this. I understand it. Because right now, there's a lot of noise going on. And a lot of people promise lots of things, and a lot of it falls down. A lot of promises for these tools fall down. And this is a room where you get to try before you buy. You get to sit down and actually go, wow, show me. Oh, wait, so I can click. Okay, so this is how it works. And to me, that's amazing if you're not in technology. And it's so timely right now when everything's moving so fast and when the market's weird. You got to get super smart, super quick. And this is the event to do it.
Yeah, I saw a post on Twitter X a couple months ago, right? And it was Andre Karpathy, right? Who's like the smartest guy in
Super
AI,
smart.
right?
Yeah.
There's no one I would put above him for what he puts out there. And he put a post. I was like, things are moving so fast, I feel overwhelmed, right? And like he was a co-founder of OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. He led full self-driving at Tesla. This is literally the smartest guy in AI, and he's like, things are moving so fast, I feel overwhelmed. I personally am breathing this all day, every day, and there were days I was like, man, like how is this changing so fast?
Mm-hmm.
And then we talk to prospects, and they're like, their business looks exactly the same as it did 12 months ago. Their tech stack has not changed at all. And so, like, what I would share, those who are listening right now, is like, it's okay to be overwhelmed. What I would say is not okay is for your business to look the same 6 months from today. And so I think if you come to this event, you'll have clarity. You'll understand the tech stack, right? Like you can talk to, again, other operators who are coming to this event and compare notes on their tech stack. So don't look at the tech stack that people are writing about on Facebook, right? Don't look at the ads and like, okay, I'm gonna go demo this ad or demo this product and so on. Like, come talk to the operators, compare notes on their tech stack, talk to those service providers that are there from the operators using that tech stack, and get to understand it so that you're not overwhelmed, so that you're informed, so you can figure out what you want your business to look like in Q4 of this year and look like in 2027.
I think you bring up a really good point about just the overwhelm and like how the industry and the thought leaders are overwhelmed. We're overwhelmed. This is our everyday life, and we're inspecting this kind of stuff every day. And the market is weird, and what is happening out there? I think for the average real estate investor, they have their heads down and they're working really hard, and they don't have time to like lift their eyes up for a second and to see what's even out there. So that's why that's really the only reason why their business looks the same as it did a year ago, is because they have no awareness or exposure to all the tools that are available to them, right? Like, when do you have time to go evaluate this? But this is a 10xer of your business. So it's like, I know I'm busy and I'm working really hard, but I need to pay attention to AI, but I'm busy and I'm working really hard. Well, you know, come to an event like this, put your hands on keyboard, listen to the people that are out there disrupting, and get a 10x multiplier for your business, because you can plug in a really great tool. It's really relevant and it can work, essentially right away. So I think that it's also a moment in time that you have to pay attention and see what kind of tools are out there available to you.
I think when I look at the technology companies that are going to be in the room, and when I think about my customers that I've spoken, because I still speak to customers every week. I still sit down. Sometimes they're angry customers, and I will get on the call with them. Sometimes they're real happy customers, and I'll get on a call with them. I'm meeting 3 next week, but like a lot
Which
of
kind?
times. Hmm?
Happy or angry?
Happy. And they were coming to the event actually, 2 of them.
Yay.
But a lot of times, I there are there's 2 things that I've noticed that happens, and AI has screwed a lot of people up as well in some ways, because be, everybody it's so easy to build certain things now that you see a lot of paralysis, not the shiny key paralysis, but the I'm going to keep playing with this tool paralysis to build more self paralysis, to not make any money and not close any deals because I'm spending 70% of my time building this cool thing that isn't this so neat. And wait a second, how many deals have you closed? Oh God, right. And I think, when I talk to customers, I get I tend to get either the people. There's 3 kind of customers I talk to. They're the people who don't really do anything with AI yet, and they're either because they're bewildered or suspicious or not interested, and that's okay, like, but whatever. They don't really do anything. Then on the other side, I talk to people who spend all day like, look at this, I can create my own thing here, and then you watch, and they're like, and a few of them, they make it work for them, but a lot of them suddenly realize, oh my God, and put the toys away to get back to work. And then you've got that middle kind of section, which are the people who have started to embrace and started to find parts of their business where they can bring AI in. And that's why I think this event's so exciting, is because for all 3 of those, this event hits the mark. Like, regardless of which one of those, this event is going to help you as a real estate investor to build a better, faster, stronger business and do more deals, regardless of which kind of side of that curve you're on.
I do think that it's worth stating that we are also awesome company. You should just come hang out with us. But kind of back to what you said, Jordan, I quoted you on a recent episode in your book on AI as labor, right? And I think you made me think about that with that last statement you made of like how to bring AI properly into your business. I would love to hear a little bit more of your perspective there on how to do it the right way.
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, we all probably come at this from a different angle. I know certainly from me and in the book, what I realized, and it really came when I started to design how our smart agents, the voice and text message agents, worked. And when I started doing that, I started realizing that the bottleneck was never going to be the agent. It was going to be how the agent interacts with my company. And I realized that if I was going to stick a digital employee into an analog business, the leverage wasn't going to be there.
Preach.
Right? And that made me really think to myself, well, what do I have to do then to my business to be able to redesign it to take advantage of a world where I can share responsibility for action execution, and implementation between an AI agent with limitless capacity and people with limited capacity. And that really is what made me it kind of just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper until I have ended up building a framework which I could then use to redesign our business, which we did successfully. And I've now started teaching other people to do it to their business. Because that's where the long-term leverage comes from. It's not siloed capability, it's integrated capability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my gosh, so well said. I think we falsely classify AI as the bottleneck because it's difficult to understand or it's difficult to, you know, pick the right thing, but the bottleneck is actually your business and the way it was run.
Yep.
So
It's
good.
and I think the analogy I keep using is the digital employee in the analog business, and that immediately to me brings it a clarity to it, and that's where I mean I watch people, and if they take one of our agents or Steve's agents, and you can do 1,000 calls, right? Great, you can do way more calls than you ever could do, but if the next step after the call is limited to through people who can only do 10, what's the value you get from siloing a huge performance over here if the next part of the process breaks down and stalls? And if you don't think about that, you end up creating an artificial capacity that actually just gets dropped. And I mean,
I
Steve, you must have seen that.
So I was a complete AI doomer, right? Beginning of the year. So like the last couple of years, definitely beginning of the year, right? I've been saying like how AI was going to destroy all these jobs. And right now I'm seriously considering hiring an internal recruiter because of how many jobs we need to fill. Like with AI in our business, I have found we need more people. Because everyone is so more productive, the output is increased, but we can't service all this additional business. So we actually have to hire more people. We're hiring more salespeople, more customer success people, more fulfillment people. Like it's just more people, and that is not what I expected at all. Right? Again, like beginning of the year, I was like, man, we're hosed. This is gonna be the Purge or the Terminator, right? Or Hunger Games, and yeah, like we're finding like changing the organization to fit where like AI can be way more productive. How do we actually work to fulfill this capacity? Because and I think it was the goal, right? Is that you just find where the next bottleneck is, and like we're finding the bottleneck is number of quality people within the organization.
Yeah, the tools that we use don't just need to be transforming, and the tools that we use don't, let me restate that. The tools that we use aren't the only thing that's transforming. It's the whole business that's transforming. And I'm so excited to get all that at the event, right? Like, what is the business as a whole going to look like a year from now? It's not just one tool that you're plugging in or getting exposed to. It's the influence of all this on the entire business operation to begin with and to end with, right? Like the whole thing is transforming before our eyes.
Well, and the good news is if you come to the event, everybody who comes to the event gets a free copy of my book.
Uh, and it's a good one. We got to pre-read it.
Yeah, but everybody is going to get a free copy of the book, which means that all the tools that you sit down and talk to, you will be able to think about how you integrate them into your business in a far more effective way if after that, because again, to the point was, isolated technology doesn't help. Integrated capacity is what really gives you leverage. And most people are simply thinking, man, wouldn't it be so good if I could get this happening over here? And they're not thinking, well, what happens when suddenly my closing team that are used to dealing with 20 opportunities get 300?
Yeah.
You drop the ball. Well, congratulations. You've created nothing of value.
Um, one of our conversations, Stephanie, one of our standing huddles, you mentioned that someone was coming just so they can talk to Facebook face to face.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you've been able to get a couple of names to come to this event. I was impressed, surprised
Oh, well, thank you.
that you're able to get. You want to share some of those names?
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt this amazing conversation, but I wanted to make sure you knew that SmartPhone, the only phone system built for real estate investors, connects to the best-in-class real estate investing CRMs. And because, as it's my show and I am co-founder and chairman of SmartPhone, I got some great deals for you. Click the link and take advantage of 5,000 minutes free calling with SmartPhone, the only phone system built for real estate investors. Click and call. Close more leads. Back to the show.
Yeah, I am so excited that Meta is coming. So, yeah, Facebook, Meta. We have two rock stars from Meta that run advertising, and they have a gigantic quotas that they are like tens of millions of dollars of advertising costs are going through each of them. Okay. And they both manage the real estate advertising vertical, working with essentially all of our brands and then all of the gigantic brands. And so they know our industry, they know what's working, they know how to free up stupid stuff that happens to our accounts, which is like an aside, right? So super nice to have somebody high up at Meta to help you if you get your account frozen. Although I'm not advertising those services on their behalf. It's just nice to have friends. But what they're going to be talking about is essentially Meta's vision and Meta's position with AI from an advertising standpoint, but then also as a company standpoint. They are like 30 years ahead of us. Like it's wild how innovative that they are as a company. And so what I'm really interested for them to share is the tips and tricks and how we can use their AI algorithms better to advertise better as attention becomes more and more expensive. But then also, what is their perspective? What is happening internally? I'll share a little bit on what they've told me is they've built AI employees for every employee. So you basically have like a little Pokemon buddy, right? That like it sits in your role with you that has job roles and job responsibilities. And I think it's really interesting on how they've set that collaboration up between agent and human and how they're getting better human leverage out of that. So we're going to get some super practical stuff of like, this is what you need to know about the algorithm right now and like straight out of the horse's mouth. But then also some really eye-opening innovation and thought process around where this is going a few years from now so we can start thinking and planning ahead as all of our companies start transforming and all of our labor starts transforming. Super pumped. So they're a huge name that's going to be there. Also Salesforce and Slack are going to be there. Another company that is kind of under the microscope right now, right? Like a little bit like they're at them and HubSpot and some of these other large companies are under the microscope for a SaaS apocalypse. And what's this changing thing? Legacy, incumbent CRM and tech stack. Like, how are they approaching innovation right now? Especially under a microscope. They are buying innovation. They are rapidly transforming all of their operations. They're repositioning what core platform looks like. Like it's not just CRM anymore. It's just all agents. So Salesforce is coming to talk about how they have essentially pivoted their entire business to be agent forward instead of infrastructure forward, which was their main value proposition 20 years ago. It's like cloud infrastructure instead of LAN infrastructure or mainframe infrastructure, right? And here they are transforming into agent infrastructure. And how does that translate to us as smaller businesses? How do we use that properly? What is that new tech stack going to be? How does it integrate with Claude and using LLMs? And they are at the forefront of that innovation and that scrutiny that I think brings really interesting tactical takeaways for us that are there,
Yeah, I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and I don't know anyone that's under more scrutiny than Salesforce. It's like, how are you adjusting? And so, yeah, the insights they bring from how they're navigating it to for us and how we need to navigate this upcoming run. I know Jordan's gonna be taking the lead and talking about it, but like we all need to figure out like what is our business org chart wise going to look like in 2027. Another thing too is like what I'm excited about is Collective Genius is also coming in. All three of us are in CG. Stephanie's actually in leadership. Jordan and I are just regular peasants inside of CG.
I'm also a freshman, Steve.
They're gonna.
We have to haze him at the next event.
Yeah, but I mean they're coming too, and they're proud to they're very much encouraging all their members to come to this event because they see the value here. And I've actually been able to, because we're organized, I get to see like who's coming. I'm seeing like major, not only major players coming, but major players bringing their COO to the event, which I think is a big deal as well. Like that's a stamp of like, hey, like we see how important this is.
I'm excited. I'm excited that one other big name, Twilio. Twilio's coming via smartphone, with smartphone, more than anything. But Twilio immediately said yes to, they want to support, and I think it's really it's great. We've got a pretty long reach in Twilio now, and I'm excited because we're going to be focusing on something that all real estate investors care about, which is trusted calling. How do you get your phones answered? Um,
It's such a
right,
big
and
part of our business. And that
yeah, and
talk
well, and
about
also like
change.
but I'm not going to get into right now the FCC things that are changing right now, which are just phenomenal. I keep abreast of that, but also just you know the in an age of increased noise over the phone, it's still the phone that investors use to close deals. Like, it is still the phone. It is still the phone. It is picking up a phone and calling someone or texting them and having a conversation. And I'm excited because Twilio is supporting us to talk about how to build better trust, how to use the infrastructure better to make sure your calls are answered and to avoid spam likely. And it's great to have, Twilio, Salesforce, Meta logos right next to ours and available to these investors who come.
I think what's been really rewarding for me to see is the overall elevation and interest in our industry. Like, finally, right? Like real estate as a segment, but then real estate investing as a segment. We have like this industry has dominated the single family residential space in the US for years. And I think it's such an underserved industry, and people kind of underestimate just how much volume and the volume of money that runs through this space. And I'm excited that these brands finally recognize that they need to get aligned with it too, and they need to understand it too, and they need to build technology that suits this industry as well. So I feel like kind of a sub accomplishment of this whole event is just visibility for big brands to build better stuff for us. Like, hey, we're kind of cool and we're doing a lot of great stuff. You should align with us as well. Not just the giant manufacturers of the world, the real estate investment space too. And we have their attention. And so it's what an opportunity for you as an operator to go talk to these people, and be like, hey, this is what I want from Meta. Just like, hey, this is what I want from smartphone or left main or objection proof. Like, come to you. You're telling us what you want, of course, and we want to hear it. But you can also tell like these giant brands are going to be in the same room as them. You can set the VIP dinner with them and be like, hey, this sucks about Meta customer service. Okay, now you're going to talk to somebody, not a computer, who can actually listen to you. And what do you need to be better at your industry? They're listening, and I think that's such an accomplishment and such an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I still have an open ticket from 2 years ago with Meta, so I'm looking forward.
I know who you're sitting next to. But yeah, I mean, how cool is that? I think that it's worth coming just to have your voice heard, let alone the value that you're going to get from being able to implement it into your business immediately, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, I mean, again, for me, I think the biggest thing, as we're talking about this, you guys should definitely come, reitechunlocked.com, get your tickets. Again, I think just for me, the big emphasis, I look at the things that move the most for me in my career is rubbing elbows, having drinks, late night drinks with the operators.
Water is welcome too. You can have a glass of milk.
Yeah. I don't think they serve milk at the bar. But anyway, the spending time with people that are actually doing the business, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I'm most excited about. Again, looking at who's attending. Another thing too is like just seeing like the overwhelm. We talked to our clients. We got a couple hundred clients now, and we see like we got the early adopters, and we got the people that are like, hey, like I'm doing this, I'm finally taking the leap, but like I'm still nervous. And I think that overwhelm is totally normal. And if you feel, whether you're like you're crushing it and you're just looking for the next tip, the next tactic, or the next strategy to modify your tech stack, or if you're overwhelmed, I think there's a place for everyone here to walk away with something here that you can implement immediately.
That's the key. Give me something to implement. Give me something I can take away with. Let me plug into direct value. You know, I, I have a personal vendetta against anything else. You know, I'm a disbeliever in fluff. So come to a place where we can actually get stuff done.
Absolutely. And where the focus is on getting stuff done, not sitting there and watching, yet another inspiring story of someone who's poor and now has, as Steve said, a Lamborghini. Like, I don't mind that, but it does get boring. You're like, yes, yes, I get it. You're a self-made millionaire. Yes, yes, it's very good. But get to the point and how do I actually do this?
Well, I think on the other side too, and I don't mean to throw shade at Salesforce, but they're kind of a classic example also of companies who just say what could be and what's coming, but it's not available yet, right? Like again, we want to know those things, and that's important to have the vision, but that's not what this event is. These are all things that are available right now. Like this is what you're going to do right now. This isn't the future. This isn't on the roadmap. This is stuff that you can do right now, and that it's easy to implement right now because we're right here with our keyboards. So I think there's some pretty strong validity to what is available right now in my market and right now in my business that I can walk away with.
So why don't we end
I'm
with
excited.
if we were going to if each of us has one thing that we're super excited about, one specific thing that we're super excited about, and one thing that we know is really relevant to our customers. Let's end with that because to me, it is all about the customers winning. Like this event is about you guys as real estate investors winning. So why don't we end with that so that we can then end with the now go book your tickets moment.
So, I mean, I'll go first. I would say the thing I'm excited about, on top of hanging out, like what's really cool is, a lot of my clients are coming, so I get to hang out with my clients, right? And then on top of that, just helping people move the ball forward. And then what I'm going to be talking about on stage is what your sales team should look like right now, given this new environment. Because running a sales team in 2024 is very, very different than running a sales team in 2026, right? Like everyone is using now one degree or another a way to review their sales conversations, right? But kind of what Jory's talking about, like, well, what does it look like when AI is booking a whole bunch of appointments for you? What does your sales team look like right now? What does the daily huddle look like? What is the cadence for your team? Well, it's going to be very different. So I'm going to share what we're seeing is working right now really well for our clients that have adopted AI. And it's going to be true for right now. And look, it might look different in 2027, but I can tell you exactly what works right now in 2026 when you're using AI to support your sales team.
I think I'll let Stephanie end. I'll say for me, I'm super excited about just the ability for people to actually sit down for 45 minutes with each company, like with any company they want. Like to me, that's just so cool. Like it's what I always wished I could be able to do is to not just sit there and go past, as you were saying, Steve, the table and sort of look at a piece of swag and then walk past, but to actually go, oh man, I can sit down here. Like we're bringing members from our smartphone team. We're not only people who can help you set things up, but a couple of our technical people are coming just so they can listen to you, just so they can listen and find out how do you use it, what do you wish could happen. We've got two of our senior developers who are coming to the event just to listen and talk. And to me, I'm so excited by that. And from our customer's point of view, I know, everybody is trying to figure out how to get going, how to use technology, how to figure out where things are going now to use them to your advantage. And so for my customers, this is an opportunity to actually get the answers. And to me, that's amazing.
Hard to follow those two things, those examples. I echo everything that you all said. To add to it, I'll say I'm really excited for attendees to be in an environment where everything is relevant to them. That it's like refreshing, like, oh, yes, I need this. Or like, I needed that connection. Or this I understand is like absolutely applicable to what I'm going through right now. Like, give me everything that I actually am interested in hearing about, everything being relevant, not noise or people outside my industry or outside my space or something I can't connect with. Like, I want to be in a relevant environment. I also am excited about the fact that so many awesome operators are going to be there. I'm looking forward to dinner. Like, we have dinner plans on Saturday and on Saturday night and Sunday night. The launch party on Saturday, and we have our VIP dinner on Sunday. And who's sitting at that table? I'm super pumped to sit down and hang out and like have actual conversations with the people that are interested in the same things that I'm interested in. And to kind of follow up on that, I'm interested in the brand partnerships that are going to come out of this. I think all of us being in the same space, exposed to really relevant information, like-minded individuals from a brand perspective, I think we're going to be able to collaborate better for the industry as a whole as well. So I'm really curious to talk more and get to know these people a little bit more and be like, all right, how can we go to market together? How can we solve a problem collectively together better? Just kind of how I feel about you guys, right? Like, we're all trying to do something from a slightly different angle, but the main goal in the end is, how do we help scaling real estate investors? How do we help people do more deals? How do we attack that problem from all these different angles? And I think when we're all in the same room together and understanding what that collective vision is that we're trying to get to, we can all work together better. So I think that's going to create way more tools that are more relevant to all of our collective customers, and we'll be able to have a huge industry impact, which is kind of my ultimate goal. Is let's make this industry like awesome. Let's give this industry tools that it should have had, forever ago, right? So it's gonna be awesome. It's the first time we're doing this event. It will not be the last. I think we're just getting started, and I'm just so honored to be hosting this event with you guys, and it's gonna rock.
So go get your tickets.
So go get your tickets. There's your call to action. Be there or be square. And again, like all the fancy cool things you're gonna see, and then all the great company you're gonna have while you're there.
And don't forget, you
Don't miss it.
REI Tech
Hang out at the bar with us, and you can have a virgin white Russian, which I believe is milk. I was thinking about that. What would a milk I order at the bar for milk? But yes, REI Tech Unlocked, and in the links, all of us they'll have links directly to tickets. Honestly, I'm so excited. And if you've been wondering, if you've been thinking about it, if you looked at it, this is the time to pull the trigger, because, man, you if you're not in the room, you're gonna miss out on something pretty special.
See you in the dust if you're not in the room, right? All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and I'm going to see you guys soon.
Thanks for listening to another amazing episode of That Real Estate Tech Guy. Head over to thatrealestatetechguy.com to check out all episodes and get special discounts on tons of awesome real estate technology platforms.